A US congressman is calling for a law that would allow governments to reverse cryptocurrency transactions. And these statements are coming from Democratic Representative Bill Foster of Illinois. And there is a lot to talk about. So let's break this down and see what is really going on. Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. To start off, Congressman Bill Foster stated when it comes to cryptocurrency, you have to be able to go to court to unmask participants under some circumstances. And this is not such an outlandish statement. We already know about this. Governments want to track cryptocurrency. They want to know who owns it and where they spend it. And they are already doing this right now. This is why wherever you go, you'll likely have to provide KYC. So this is not anything new to us. This is what we already know. Governments want to continue monitoring who owns crypto, but what they probably do want around the world is easier access, because today it might be a battle for them when they go to a third party and ask for information. For example, the IRS was able to get information from Coinbase and Kraken, but they had to take them to court. So this is not unexpected. We know that this is what governments want to do. And to add to that, the congressman stated that the law needs to address whether cryptocurrency is truly anonymous, or is there a court you can go to unmask the participants? So when it comes to cryptocurrency, for the most part, most crypto, including Bitcoin, is not anonymous, rather it is pseudonymous, meaning you can still see everything going on the blockchain, you can see all of the addresses, all of the wallets, but you are able to track it and then connect a real world identity to the address. Therefore, it would no longer make something like Bitcoin or even Ethereum anonymous. However, there are cryptocurrencies that are truly anonymous, such as Monero. You cannot see who sent the crypto, you cannot see who received the crypto, and you cannot see the amount of crypto that was sent. It is truly anonymous, and for this reason, governments around the world, they hate Monero. This is why over the years, we have seen less exchanges or platforms being allowed to sell or trade Monero. And luckily today, there still are platforms that trade Monero. It's becoming less over the years. And Monero is a cryptocurrency that I believe will never go away, even though it will be hard for, let's say, institutional money to come into it or for people to get access to it. There always will be a use case for Monero for criminals, but even for non-criminals, right? People that want privacy and freedom of their money. So this is the first part of these statements. This is not a surprise. It makes sense. We know governments want to do this, but then this is where things start to turn. He also stated, is there a court, a third party that you can go to reverse fraudulent or mistaken transactions? And at this point, this is when we start to realize that these apparently high-level congressmen don't know what they're talking about. And we are still very early to the game. Congressmen calling for a law to reverse cryptocurrency transactions. As we know, cryptocurrency transactions cannot be reversed. And he added to that, can the court, if they decide that the transaction was fraudulent, criminal, or mistaken, use its access to very heavily guarded keys, cryptographic backdoor, in a sense that allows them to cryptographically reverse transactions on a blockchain? Again, this is how you know we are so early to crypto. When you have congressmen stating, is there a backdoor that we can just reverse cryptocurrency? That is not possible. Well, actually, it is possible sometimes if you're dealing with a brand new blockchain that is not secure. Yes, then maybe you can reverse a transaction. But if we're speaking about Bitcoin or Ethereum, you cannot reverse the transaction. What you may be able to do is reverse it through a third party. If crypto is on an exchange and it is sent to another exchange, maybe if the authorities and governments are working together, then you can reverse a transaction. But technically, you wouldn't be reversing a transaction, right? All you'd be doing is sending a new transaction, because as mentioned, you cannot cryptographically reverse a transaction when it comes to, for example, Bitcoin. And also, if you really think about it from the exchange level, let's say a criminal, right, as these congressmen are referring to, these criminals are using crypto anonymously. They're not sending crypto from Coinbase to Binance or from Binance to Gemini, right? They're sending it off to their own wallet that they control. You cannot reverse these transactions. And again, maybe this is also a piece of information that you're not surprised about either, right? With these congressmen coming out and saying, oh, why don't we just reverse crypto, right? Like cryptographic backdoor. This is not the case. And the lawmaker claims that such tools are necessary for the government to protect itself, the people and companies from ransomware attacks like the one suffered by Colonial Pipeline. And ransomware attacks have been a topic of conversation over the last year when it comes to cryptocurrency and governments, right? They're saying, look at crypto, look at Bitcoin. We need to get rid of it because it's being used for ransomware attacks. So with the Colonial Pipeline hack, and as many of us know, the hackers demanded Bitcoin as ransom. And then shortly after, the government was able to get that crypto, that Bitcoin back. And many people were thinking, look, Bitcoin was hacked, the crypto transaction was reversed. But this was not the case. It is more likely that the crypto at one point passed through a third party, or the private keys passed through a third party, but the government will not state exactly what happened. They never will. For all we know, the whole thing could have been a setup. So this is the second part to the story. There is more to that. And I just want to clarify, governments cannot reverse crypto transactions, but what they can do is have third parties comply to try and maybe unmask participants and try to, reverse transactions. But once an actual transaction is made on the blockchain, especially if it is not on an exchange, it cannot be reversed, but these congressmen don't know this. And now this is where things really start to turn. Then the congressman followed up and stated there's a significant sentiment, increasing sentiment in Congress that if you're participating in an anonymous crypto transaction, that you're a de facto participant in a criminal conspiracy. So congratulations to most of you watching. You are a criminal. You participate in criminal conspiracies. If you've ever used DeFi, congratulations. You are a criminal according to this congressman. And following this, Congressman Brad Sherman is back at it again, comparing Bitcoin to playing the lottery. And he stated he would rather people make bets in equity markets or the California lottery than invest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. The only advantage of crypto is avoiding KYC, and it's supported by anarchists for tax evasions. This is Brad Sherman, the same congressman that in 2019 tried to ban Bitcoin. And probably everything I said in this video doesn't really surprise you. These congressmen, these high-level congressmen speaking about cryptocurrency, but it's very apparent that they are clueless when it comes to cryptocurrency. They don't know what they're speaking about. The positive, though, is that we are still early. We all know the saying. First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. We are still in the fighting stage. Even though we have seen great news in crypto over the last year, we are also seeing governments and authorities around the world crack down on crypto. And by the time governments and authorities agree to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and they accept it, the investment opportunity is gone. So here we are right now today with governments and congressmen around the world saying things such as reverse crypto transactions, which we know is not possible. This is the time. This is the time to start stacking, right? I have nothing more to say. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.